Good evening from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well today. Sending loads of love as usual. On the move as usual as well. Been digging through the archives and some of you asking, especially you, Devon, one of my nephews, beloved nephews out there, asking about the Jamaican yardies. And you know, a lot of them come through the system as well. And what happens when you get deported and stuff like that. Well, I can remember one story going through my mind today. Rest in peace again, as many men who lived that life have to face that fact today that they're no longer with us. But Uncle Yammy's never ever afraid to talk about them in that way, if you get what I mean, because I never had no problems with many people. You know, I got on with most, and I did the best I could to keep everybody safe in that way and in that life. I can hold my hands up to that, and I don't feel ashamed of it either. But we're going to go back to the late millennium, Cathays, somewhere in Worcestershire, and a yardie, Jamaican, called Muggsy, Porter, Rasta. One morning, click, the doors opened. Ibrahim, rest in peace as well now, meant to have done a life sentence for the murder in Rye Hill. He's no longer with us as well now. Confrontation with his next door neighbour, a yardie called Porter, Muggsy. Yeah, keep your music down, because when I'm praying Salat, I can't concentrate. If you're playing music first thing in the morning, you know, when you've got to get up for Fajr to do your prayers, if you're up at 5:45 or 6:30 or 7:15, you're playing music, someone's playing music while you're praying, it can really upset your spirit. And it's another thing you have to be aware of if you're thinking about going to them places, because your time is not everybody else's time, and violence can often lead to this kind of situation here. So, as usual, I'd been thinking overnight. As I heard this little quarrel in the morning, I've stepped out and I've said to Ibrahim, leave it, brother. Don't worry about it. Let me talk to him. I made the peace with them both. He said he wouldn't play the music, Muggsy, and give him the timetable. They made some little routine about how they're going to do it and the way they're going to do it so it doesn't affect his prayer. And everything was all right. And then another man who I believe, but who am I to judge? At that time when I was living that life, Shab, who's no longer with us either, has picked a fight with the Rastaman, Muggsy. And again, I've stepped in and said, nah, you can't do that. You can't use the backup of the brothers just because you're a Muslim. Just call the loving, beloved brothers who are really true to the deen and say you've got problems with a man when really you've just got some beef, some extra beef with him on some other scale, in a different kind of life to the life that belongs to Allah, God as we know him. Do you get what I mean? So I blocked that as well. But he was persistent. And I moved upstairs, and then one of those mornings, 5, 6 of them run up. He got them all. You know, the beloved brothers, yeah, I've got a bit of trouble. Come and stay with me. Help me if, inshallah. Yeah, but who am I to judge? I might be wrong. Maybe it was for God or whatever you want to say it. But today, I'm saying how I was thinking at the time. That I was thinking that you was doing it for ulterior motives and using the lovely brotherhood of the brothers for protection. So 5, 6 of you have run up on the Rastaman. And this Rastaman Porter, he weren't no easy Rastaman. I'd already had witnessed a fight with him and Scotty. One morning, Scotty's come down from North London to have a war with him, and they've had exchanged a cut each. Imagine that, first thing in the morning. And I remember getting in between and saying, nah. But the Rastaman was beginning to get him a little bit. So I kind of got in and said, nah, leave it. You both had a cut each. Leave it like that. But this Rastaman Porter, he was not easy, this yardie. And he used to come out every morning and he used to call me warplane. He used to say to me, Yamimi, warplane. You know, like I'm a kamikaze pilot or something. You know, that's the kind of interaction that we have in there sometimes. But no, all in all, they've run up on him and chopped him to smithereens. Chopped off some of his dreadlocks, cut him, stabbed him in his head with a sore spot, all that kind of stuff, right? And by the time I got there, it was all over. I couldn't do nothing about it, right? So they've taken him away. He's bloodied up and everything. And I've got out after that, and then got recalled not too long after that. And remember I told you I got recalled outside the Young Vic Theatre over the Al Qaeda stuff. Well, as soon as I got back on the recall for that thing that I told you about in other previous videos, Those who have listened, those who haven't, if you want to follow the whole story. I've told you already. And I've gone back straight to Parkhurst. And he's there. Muggsy, Porter, is there doing an 18 stretch. That's to do 12 out of it. Then he gets deported back to Jamaica. And all along, ever since I've known this Rasta man, all he ever does is talk about machine guns and what he's going to do when he gets out. So when I got to Parkhurst and he's seen me and I've seen the cut, see a few stitches around there and a couple of little bits and bobs that side of town. Give him a little hug, blah, 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 blah. I said, Muggsy, he said, yeah, me, don't worry about that, man. When we get back home, I'm going to murder everybody. But there's enough men that say that, but there's many men that mean it as well. But I believe this yardie for some reason, and that the reasons why, because of what I'd witnessed over the times I've been with him over that period in the Cattays, right? So he's telling me I get out in the end on recall after a couple of years, whatever, and he's got some little change left. But this yardie, he was really, really serious. So again, another man, the same man that he fell out with in Long Lartin, who got the brothers to stab him up. Rest in peace now as well. The same man he fell out with the music next door, Ibrahim, for the murder in Rye Hill, no longer with us. Rest in peace, my brother. I loved you. And now Porter as well fulfills what he said he was going to do. A Jimmy Cliff turnout, the harder they come, go back to Jamaica and have the final stand with the feds as soon as he got off the plane. Serious stuff, man. Tell me about it, man. We're going to get into all this stuff soon when these interviews starts happening and we get into certain topics, especially the Jamaican topic as well. But shortly after I got released, I read in the papers, read on the internet, read in certain things, and then met another man when I got recalled on that last sentence before the injuries. Another yardie who was finishing off a life sentence said that, yes, Yami, Muggsy went back to Jamaica and had it out with them. All the police, about 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them, and at the final stand, and did exactly what he said he was going to do, and went over there and had the final showdown. And rest in peace, my brother. But that's how angry certain inmates can carry feelings with over a long period of time. And I've got more of this stuff coming up because it seems like there's a lot of men that I talk about that are no longer with us. But the yardie called Porter, Rastaman, Muggsy, I pay my respects to you today. Rest in peace, my boy. Sending loads of love.